Have you ever felt that you had to plaster a smile on your face to hide the pain inside? Well, my next guest walked around doing that, but was able to break free of that and actually walk Fashion Week in Paris. Do you want to know how she did it? Then stick around. I got my superhero mojo on. That's why I started the wrong intro. Well, welcome to Love My Body, Love Myself. I'm your host, Alicia Couri, and I want to welcome those of you who are here watching us live. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. Those of you on Facebook, hello, Facebook. Thank you for joining us on. We're also broadcasting on LinkedIn. So thank you for tuning in, LinkedIn, Twitch. We appreciate you. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube, hey, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So even if you're not watching on YouTube, make a note to go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/C/Alicia Couri. Just go on and subscribe, hit that notification bell, because we share a lot of really great content over there. And I'm actually partnering with some people that's going to be sharing even more content over on that YouTube channel. So I really appreciate it if you could go and subscribe to that YouTube channel. If you are on Facebook, we do have a group, because our mission here is to impact 100,000 women with the message of self-love and body positivity. And so if you can go over and just also join our group on Facebook, it's facebook.com/groups/LMBLM. And that's for Love My Body, Love Myself. So go on over to our Facebook group and just, join. So, this is a fantastic show I have for you today. But before I get to the show, I want to encourage you to leave a comment. Leave a comment if you find that this content is beneficial, if it's beneficial to you or valuable in any way. Leave a comment and also share it out with someone that you think is going to appreciate the content that we're sharing here on the show, because I'd love to hear from you. Our guests would love to hear from you as well. And I know that our guests that we have on these shows also join the broadcast, and they're kind of in the chat as well. So if you want to find out more, because my interviews here, some are going to be live, but some right now are pre-recorded. So if you notice, my set is a little bit different. My background's a little bit different. I've changed around my background, but when you look at the interview, I'm going to be in my former background. So we're evolving here. So leave a comment if you like, and if you want to get connected with moi, if you want to connect with me, go to alicia360.com. That's the best way to connect with me on all social media platforms. Or if you are only on IG, or if you're on IG, you can look up the Alicia Couri or Audacious Confidence, and that's how you can connect with me as well. So let me tell you a few things about some of the shows that are on this Red Carpet CEO platform, because we have a few shows before I get to the interview. One show is Unleash Your Audacious Confidence, and that's on Mondays. So if you want to join in on Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, that show is called Unleash Your Audacious Confidence, and I share mostly on that show all about building your confidence. How do you grow? How it's about growth, mindset, all these great things to really stepping out in boldness and in confidence. And I also have invited guests from time to time. So that is a fantastic platform. It's on winwinwomen.tv. And so if you come live to the show, It's 30 minutes, a 30-minute show, and then we have 30 minutes of discussion. So you're able to interact with me, interact with the guest, anything I talked about during the show or interviewed someone on, you can ask questions. It's really a lively discussion after the show. So Win Women TV, that's on Mondays at 5 p.m. And then on Saturdays, the first and third Saturdays of the month, we have Small Business Saturday Shout Out, SBSSO. So if you have a small business, you want to be on that show, just contact me. So we do quite a few things in that Facebook group as well. So that's facebook.com/groups/SBSSO for Small Business Saturday Shout Out. And we actually have coming up in February our first networking event of the year, which is our happy hour cocktail networking event. So it's on the 25th of let me take this down so you can see. Yeah, the 25th of February at 6 p.m. Eastern. And that is a live virtual networking event. And we have a lot of fun. We give away a lot of prizes. You can win some stuff, but also get to meet and collaborate with some incredible, incredible business owners. We got that going on. What else we got going on in Small Business Saturday Shout Out? We do master classes there as well. But there's a lot of ways that you can get a shout out for your business on that show. So come on over and join us over there as well. Like I said, this show is previously recorded. And did I tell you when Small Business Saturday Shout Out? It's at 6 p.m. Eastern every first and third Saturday. So the interview we're about to see has been pre-recorded. So if you have any questions, put it in the chat. We'll answer anything that's comment in the chat. I want to share that this show is sponsored by Red Carpet CEO and sponsored by Alicia Couri Inc. and produced by Red Carpet CEO. So Alicia Couri Inc. is a boutique consulting firm that specializes in audaciously proactive leaders and teams using brain science and people data to get results. And Red Carpet CEO is our platform that we share all our media content on. So if you'd like to sponsor one of our shows, get in touch with me. If you'd like to be a guest on any one of our shows, also get in touch with me. You can email support@aliciacouri.com to get in touch with us. Now, what you've all been waiting for is my interview with Lisa Hopkins. So Lisa, and I'm going to share a little bit about how I met Lisa in the interview, but she has a really terrific story, and I want you to really listen and pay attention to the arc of her journey, where she was, the pain that she was in, and then how she grew from that. And like I said, she went from being very insecure to walking the runway at Paris Fashion Week. Yeah. So stay tuned for that. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I met Lisa in a pageant, and she touched my heart with her speech. It was so moving, and it was really amazing talking about her transformation. And I wanted her to be on the show to talk about her transformation. And she wore a Wonder Woman. So any of you know me and my picture on Facebook, yes, I'm there in the Wonder Woman outfit as well. So we are kind of kindred souls that way, kindred spirits, Wonder Woman, kindred spirits that way. So I want to share about Lisa, and then I'll bring her up to have this conversation. For Lisa, it took a lot of years peeling her onion down to the root to find out what caused her insecurities. After years of getting away from toxic people in her life and counseling and a closer walk with Jesus, she can honestly say she loves herself and loves her body. Oh, I love that. So I am so excited to welcome to the show Lisa Hopkins. Hey, Lisa.
Hi, and thanks for having me.
I am so excited to have you here. First of all, what inspired you to dress up as Wonder Woman, wear this cloak, and then reveal yourself? Because I thought that was so amazing the way you did it.
Well, I had been told all my life that I looked like the original Wonder Woman, Linda Carter.
Hmm.
So as a child, I had the Wonder Woman costume one year for Halloween, and I continued to play her myself after that Halloween. So I think it was the second pageant I entered in Women of Achievement. I thought I would have a customized Wonder Woman suit like Linda Carter's.
Yes.
So I had that made, and I think how it ended up when you met me was I had already had that Wonder Woman suit, and I'd already had a speech with that Wonder Woman suit. But then COVID came into play
Yeah.
with the mask, so I kind of tweaked the speech into the two mask of Wonder Woman, and it kind of worked out
It
perfect.
worked out perfectly.
Yeah,
I loved it. And you won an award for that speech, did
I
you?
did. I won.
Yep.
I won the speech category. Yes.
Yes, it was really great. So take me back to when, because I said you had in your piece that I read that you had insecurities. Did you know you had insecurities?
Oh, yes. Yes, I did for years. I knew I had them.
And how did that play out in your life?
Um, I feel like it's hindered me in my life. I should be way further than I am at being
Mhm,
54 years old. I
mhm,
feel like it held me back.
mm,
I've always felt uncomfortable being in crowds, being around
mhm.
other people. It was a huge step getting out of my comfort zone to enter that first pageant I entered in 2016 because I had not been in a pageant for 30 years. But I took the leap and got
Wow.
out of my comfort zone to enter it. I think
Wow.
faster once I got there.
So 30 years. So you did pageants as a young woman. What got you
Yes,
into pageantry then?
my mother. My mother got me in them when I was, I believe, 3 or 4. I know I was in them by 4. So from 4 to 18, I did pageants.
And did that help your self-esteem in any way?
No, like my speech said, I think my mom put me in them to build my self esteem. But
It had
as I
the
shared
opposite.
in It didn't. As I shared in my speech, I also believe I have a learning disability. I believe it's dyslexia that's never been diagnosed, was
Mhm.
never diagnosed as a child. So I've always struggled
Well,
with,
we're in that same age group where, yeah, I struggle too. And I believe I have not just the dyslexia, but also the dyscalculia.
yes,
Dyscalculia. I mix numbers up all the time. And it was really difficult for me to do math. And then what in the 90s, that's when dyslexia and all these things started to be really diagnosed, ADD, ADHD. But we grew up in a time when you were just considered stupid.
yes.
Right?
And I was called that a lot. So that played into my insecurities as being called stupid by close people, friends at school, and, my husband, my ex husband, even my own daughter has called me stupid. So, yeah, it played a big part in my insecurities.
Mm, wow. I can feel your pain because I know what that is. And to really feel like you're not worth anything, like I can't do anything then. I'm not good for anything.
Right.
So I really understand that. Um, so how were you sort of navigating this life of insecurity? What did that look like day to day?
Um, I was just surviving, pretty much
Mhm.
so. Just,
On
yeah, just pretty much
autopilot.
surviving.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, because I want people to
Numb.
really I want people to understand that there's a difference when you thrive and when you're just surviving. When you're just on
Yes.
autopilot doing um, what you could do to just make it through the day into the next day, versus really waking up being excited about what. the next day brings. And there is a difference. And
There
so
is.
you found yourself in that just survival mode. Well, yep, if I get through today, you know, you know, and that's not really a great way to live, is it?
No, it's not. It's actually a miserable way to live.
Oh man. So what really made you recognize that you were living this way and want to make a shift?
I had been going to some therapies that my insurance would pay or cheap therapies in a women's group, going to and Bible studies as well. But they weren't helping me either. Some of them actually made things worse.
Hmm.
So I went to my first Women of Achievement pageant that Marlena Martin is the director of. I met somehow or another, I met somebody that got me involved there. So
Hmm.
in 2016, not being in pageants for 30 years, I go there and I had my triggers of that 4 year old little girl in her first pageant at that.
Ooh.
Yeah. and 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 going through my healing process, it's you when you're in a trigger, you're actually the age that you are in your trigger. So pretty much so I was like a 4 year old little girl.
Oh my goodness.
It's adult women's pageant, and
Wow.
I wish you had been there then, because when I went back on the and I just recently had a breakup with a boyfriend that I had been with off and on for years too, and eventually broke that off for good. And I knew after the breakup with the man in the first pageant I was in that I needed help,
Wow.
because I was distraught. I mean, I was like, I mean, I like ball. Like I think Joy Sutton. I don't know if you know her, but
Hmm.
she saw me cry my eyes out, and I really didn't know why I was crying. Like I really didn't know what the trigger was.
So you just had like a complete break at that
A complete
at the
breakdown.
pre.
Yes,
Mm.
yes.
Oh, wow.
And I knew after that that I couldn't keep living like this. That I needed help, and I had heard about this guy. My insurance wouldn't cover it because it was over the phone sessions. So, and actually through me praying to Jesus, I love to listen to TD Jakes, if anyone knows who I am.
Yeah.
And I was struggling with the money of because he was going to be expensive. But when I was praying and asking for what I should do, TD Jakes preached a sermon and said, "Don't worry about the money if it's going to help you get to the next level." And I just
Wow.
knew that God's way of speaking through TD Jakes to me, saying, "Don't worry about the money. Just do it." And the first session I had with him, he was like, "We're going to start where you're at. We're not going to go," because I had blocked my whole childhood. I said, "I just feel like I've had a trauma. I don't know what it is." And then come to find out it was multiple traumas. But he said, "We're just going to work you backwards." And it didn't make sense to me, but it does now, because that was the start of peeling the onion layer. And
Wow.
until you got to the deep, deep core root of it, your brain had to be ready, was how he explained it. So that's why we started. And I guess he knew that my life would lead me into triggers.
Yep.
And that's just pretty much how it played out.
Wow. That is amazing. You have to really see how to you have to invest in yourself. That's what I have to say. You have to be able to invest in yourself when you're ready to really go deep and go high.
Right.
Because in order to go to the next level, in order to go higher, you have to go deeper and uproot some of those false beliefs, some of those traumas that you've experienced in your life. You have to be able to dig those up because they will keep coming back to you every time you try to go higher. They will keep coming back to you, and it will send you into a tailspin. So you have to be willing to invest in yourself. And you didn't suffer in the investment, you grew.
Exactly.
Did you lose money? Were you destitute?
I would not say no, because I feel like the money I put in to invest in myself, now it's going to help me to be able to do what to bloom, to flourish now.
Yeah.
And and where I've always pretty much lived on the poverty level, I'm 54. I still believe I've got a lot of good years in me.
Hmm.
So, I've got visions, big visions now, and I feel like that I can accomplish
Now
them
you can
now.
accomplish them. Yeah, because you have to dig those things out so that you can propel forward. I am
Yes.
I'm I'm so thankful and will continue to hold you up that you will accomplish those big dreams that you have and those big goals that you're seeking, and with more of a lightness, not that heavy load that you were carrying around trying to drag all that stuff with you. It's harder. It's really hard.
Yes, it
So
is.
I'm going to take a quick break, but I want
Okay.
to come back and talk a little bit more about how Lisa was able to recognize certain things, and the steps she took to peel that onion, what she discovered about herself. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with Lisa Hopkins. The Love My Body, Love Myself show is sponsored by Alicia Couri Inc. and produced by Red Carpet CEO. Alicia Couri Inc. specializes in developing audaciously proactive leaders and teams using brain science and people data to get results. Visit our website, aliciacouri.com, for more information. The show is produced by Red Carpet CEO. If you'd like a copy of Age with Audacious Confidence, visit our link tree at linktr.ee/acoury. Let's get back to the show. So, welcome back. Welcome back. I am here with Lisa Hopkins, and she is sharing, mental health is so, so important. And it's important to recognize when you need help. It's so vital to get the help that you need, because if you suffered a trauma, if there's something that triggers you and you don't know what it is or how to overcome it, because Lisa talked in the previous segment about not even understanding why she was crying or not knowing what the trigger was, or anything about triggers, until she sought counseling and started to heal from those things. So, Lisa,
Yes.
share with us how the counseling went for you and how you were able to heal.
Okay. So, like I said earlier, he started where I was at, and I didn't understand it because I was wanting to get to the root right then. And I went along with it. So we worked through, and I guess he knew that I was going to be triggered down the road. And so each trigger I had, then I would go and talk to him. I have like a scar on I don't know if you can see it, but I had a car accident and I didn't understand mental scar tissue until I had actually a physical trauma. And healing through that scar tissue helped me understand what the counselor was trying to tell me about scar tissue. So each time I had a trigger and I worked it out with him and healed, the next time I did not have those triggers. Like when I went through the same thing again, I didn't go through that trigger again because I was already healed from it. And he would explain that when your brain is ready, you would not get, and that's why it's layer by layer. The onions is layer by layer, because when you get to ready for a trigger or a trauma, your brain is ready for it. You'll have the trigger, then you work the process out, and then you can go on to the next one until you get to that core root. And that's how he was working. To be honest, I don't think I might there. I still think there's one more thing, right? That's really, really core.
Uh huh.
But I tell that now that a lot of things that used to set me off or put me in anxiety mode or I act like a child, I don't do anymore. I'm able, actually, my last session with him, all he could say was, wow, because I had some triggers with my first fashion show in London. I just went. I've come from pageant into the modeling world, and when I went to London, England, right, and I got Gettys, if that's how you say them, right. I've got 5 Gettys already, and I had triggers at the London show and the LA show as well. I walked in the LA for trauma. Actually, it was Karen Michelle's Arts for Trauma that I got to walk in, and I thought that was amazing because it was for they were raising money for trauma,
That is
and they
so
actually have
impressive,
a
Lisa. That is impressive.
uh but they anyway I didn't lost my train of thought, but I was able, when I told him about the triggers and how I responded in London, all he could say was wow. You know, it was like, wow, I like you wearing this. He called it wearing it. You know, he was like, I like this. And he was really impressed that I was able to go to London and be a model, and then how I handled the triggers.
That
Um,
is great. That is so encouraging and inspiring because you said at the beginning that your insecurities held you back. And look at you now, modeling in shows in London, going around the world, accepting invitations to go on stage to model and not being that insecure person anymore that said no to big opportunities like that. So I'm saying wow too. I'm super excited for you.
it
So
was it was definitely, if I hadn't have done the work, I would have been just like I was at that 2016,
yep.
which wouldn't have been good, I don't think. So yes, I am glad I did the work. I'm glad I've peeled the onion, and like I said, in LA, I think I got to something else that the first thing that probably spiraled everything. I think I'm just on the tip verge of that, and the last session with a counselor, we talked about it, and now he's told me how to be ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I think after that, I think I'm really going to be able to bloom.
Oh wow. You gotta give me the name of that counselor. We gotta give him a shout out because
Now his name
that's
is Bob Grant. You can Google him on in the Google. His name is Bob Grant.
Bob Grant. Wow, that is amazing. I'm writing that down. That's a write it down. So what are some of the tips that you learned in peeling away those layers and how to handle your triggers? Just one or two tips.
Um, I guess it's just go about your day and living. And when you get to the trigger, you recognize that it's a trigger and you're not in the past.
So you
That's
have to
the key.
recognize that's one of
Recognize.
a key thing. I had a coach years ago say, awareness is enough. Like once you
Mhm.
bring something to your awareness, when it happens over and over again and you become aware of it, that is enough for you to make a different decision. You can
Right,
change your reaction because now you have
right,
awareness. So you have to
right.
recognize it. What is something else?
Then once you recognize it and recognize you're not in the past, that you're not in the trauma, you're in the
Present.
okay
Yeah,
mode.
you've moved
Yeah,
beyond it. Hmm.
right. And then that's when you can control the anxiety and then take the steps to work through that, whatever that trigger is you're in. You recognize it, then you take control of it and work through that trigger until, because they would say you have to put the memory with because see, I never was able to have work through the pain process of any painful memories. I held it all in. So when you put the memory with the pain and actually feel the pain, then that's it. That's when you're healed from it.
Mm. And
Yeah.
so, what was one of the traumas that you were healed from that one that would set you back?
I would pretty much say, as in my speech, as it talks about, and you can see that on YouTube, the speech. But I talked about wearing that smile. I
Hmm.
hid behind a mask of a smile, I always presented myself that I'm always happy when I wasn't. I am now, but not then. Um, I hid behind the mask of a smile and I pushed all of the anger in. And recently, I was so afraid because, like he said, it's there. It's going to be released one way or the other. He explained it like eating chocolate. If you don't eat some chocolate, then you're going to go like hoard chocolate, like eat a lot of chocolate. He said it's the same with anger. So mine probably just recently was able to let go. When I got that Getty in London,
Hmm.
when I walked out on the stage, that was I thought I royally screwed up because I walked out on that stage mad. My 54 years of pent up anger was me walking that runway in London. And when I walked off, I was like, well, I royally screwed that up. I got the first Getty on that runway walk because I had trouble. I had been having trouble taking that pageant smile off. They don't want you to smile in
No, you
modeling.
got to be serious. You got to be fierce on
Right. And
stage. So you were
I
angry, and that
couldn't do it.
fierceness came out.
Right. Right. I couldn't do it because I'd always been used to putting a smile on, acting like everything's fine. Well, I was so mad with all the triggers that led up on that one way walk. That madness came out on the runway, and I had been afraid that I was going to let it loose on somebody that didn't deserve it. I had been working with a counselor prior to going to London on that's what I was afraid I was fixing to be. I was a volcano about to go off.
Oh my
And
God.
and then I ended up in LA. I ended up being with another lady who actually deserved she deserved my anger. But since I'd already released it in London, and I was actually scared to go off on my anger with her, but I was able to be able to handle it with her because I had not. I mean, if London hadn't happened before her, I don't know. I might have would have gotten myself killed because it what she would have deserved the anger. But that's what he was saying wow to when I told him how I handled and in the past I couldn't do it. Like in the past I just let them run all over me and take advantage of me, be a doormat to them or whatever. But so I would say
Listen,
the
you
big
said something very important there. You
yeah.
said something very important
Okay.
because you said in the past, I would have let them just run over me and be a doormat. So that's how your insecurities and your when you were triggered, how it manifested itself. And that's not normal.
Right.
That's not regular. That that being a doormat and just smiling and letting people take advantage of you is not how we should live. So if
Mm-mm.
that's what you're experiencing, you have to recognize, wait a second, something is not adding up right here. So
Right.
that's one of those things. So, you know, um, we have to know how to stand up for ourselves. We have to
Yeah.
know how, and that's part of loving ourselves enough to say, I'm not going to let you take advantage of me. I'm not going to let you bully me. I'm not going to let you just run all over me. So, yay
Yeah.
for you.
Right.
I love
He
that.
said that people, the way I was, people would see, oh, well, you can do anything to her. She's not going to get anger.
She's
So
not
they
going
just
to do
do more,
anything. Hmm.
which is true. It's very true. So he says anger is actually there to protect you.
Yeah, but you bottled it up and you pushed it down and you stuffed it
Mhm.
in and then you exploded like a volcano.
Yes.
Uh,
On the runway to get a Getty.
on the runway. And you got a
Right.
Getty. And for those of you who don't know what a Getty is, there Getty is an image. Um, they uh, how do you describe it? When celebrities or something important or something happens, a Getty photographer takes photos and they brand it with the Getty image on it. So it's like stock image. So now you are a stock image. So people can look you up and download and have you as a stock photo. So Getty images, you see them on red carpets, like runways and stuff, and really big events. That's where you get a Getty. So that's what she's talking about. She got a Getty. She got one of those photos that are now considered stock image photo. I hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah, from when I Googled it, that's pretty much, you said it exactly what I Googled.
Okay.
I didn't know what they were either. Like I had no clue. And now I have five, so I had to
Now you
Google
got,
what they were all about.
and I don't
I
have
have
none. So look at that. You are, listen, girl, I am so excited for you because um you're helping other women, you're moving other women, and you're showing them how to be brave. You're showing them how to move through the things that have happened to you, the traumas that you've experienced, and come out on the other side whole and complete and happy and healthy and in love with yourself so no one else can take advantage of you, to love your body, love yourself, and to keep moving forward. And I am so thankful that you said yes to coming on the show and sharing your story and sharing what you went through. You know, I could continue talking to you for another hour, but we got to shut it down, unfortunately. So two things. Number one, we want to share how people can get in touch with you. So you can contact Lisa on Instagram. She is Unique Blue Rose 444 on Instagram. So go ahead, give her a follow on Instagram, connect with her, send her a DM, say, hey, I heard your story on Love My Body, Love Myself. You can find out more about her counseling, how she went through it. Just get in touch with her and encourage her so that she can keep moving on and moving strong. And then the second thing I just wanted to highlight, you have a boutique.
I do. It's an online boutique, but I vision a store someday in my retirement years. So yes, I have an online boutique, and it's under www.uniqueblueroseboutique.com.
Uniqueblueroseboutique.com. And so, support that, support Lisa. And
Actually, this for this competition, I'm going to be doing Miss Global Fashion or Fashion Global. It's at the same time as, so I am taking a break from Women of Achievement to do a modeling competition in November.
all
So
right, well, best
I have
of
my
luck to
banner
you.
there for, yeah,
Best of luck to you on that.
yes,
Yes, we want to see you excel and do well. And even if you don't bring home the title, you're still a winner because, you're showing up for yourself. And when you do that, you always win.
right. And I eventually plan on being back to win because I said I was going to continue to enter that till I won that crown. So
Yeah,
I tend to come back someday, but I'm just going down a different path right now.
that's great. I was just wondering if I was going to see you in November, but that's okay. Oh, I shouldn't have said the date because I don't know when this is going to air. So I'm just going to delete that part. So I would say, so I was just looking forward to seeing you. That's all.
Well, we'll
But
see each other someday again.
we will, we will. So thank you again and best of luck to you in the competition. And I look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing you again, Lisa,
Yes, thanks for
and
having me on
seeing
your
you
show
grow. Well, I
again.
see you online all the time. So I want to continue to see you blossom, that rose continue to bloom and blossom.
Okay.
All right. Take
And
care.
thanks again for having me. Thanks. Bye.
Well, hello. And I really think that that interview was inspiring. It was inspiring to me to hear Lisa talk about the challenges that she faced and how she was able to overcome those things. And she continues to grow and blossom. And I have to at the beginning I said Paris Fashion Week. I mean it's London Fashion Week, so let me correct that. It was for London. And also the important thing is in her interview is to understand traumas and triggers. What triggers you? What things set you off? Because sometimes, if you're not aware that you're being triggered by something, you can do things. She said in the interview, she was afraid that she would go off on somebody that didn't deserve it. Because when you're in a trigger, it's almost like you can't control the anger or who you yell at or what you do. So she was very afraid of going into a trigger, going into like exploding on someone that didn't deserve to get that. So it's important to recognize that you get triggered, when you're triggered, and how to manage that, or the better way is how to heal from that. So I hope you enjoyed this interview as much as I did. Just a couple housekeeping notes before we leave. I just want to make sure that everyone knows to go on and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We want more subscribers. So go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/C/Alicia Couri. And also, join our Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/LMBLM. Next week, we're going to continue to talk about healing from certain traumas. So stay tuned for us next week on Love My Body, Love Myself. And I also want to make sure you know that this show was sponsored by Alicia Couri Inc. and produced by Red Carpet CEO. And if you would like to sponsor a show or be a guest on any one of our shows, please contact us. You can email support@aliciacouri.com. If you'd like to be a guest or if you'd like to sponsor a show, just email support@aliciacouri.com. And if you would also like a copy of my book, Age with Audacious Confidence, or we also launched a new book recently. It's called Rise Up, Women Who Lead, Building Legacy. And I have a chapter in that book. It's 33 amazing women sharing their stories. You can go to linktr.ee/acouri, and that will link you directly to Amazon, where you can purchase those books. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on this episode of Love My Body, Love Myself. And I want to encourage you to do something this week for yourself. Do something bold, do something brave, but do something this week to take care of you and to prove that you love your body and love yourself. So I will see you next time. And this Saturday, just so you know, this Saturday, I'm going to do a very special. We don't have a scheduled Small Business Saturday shout out show, but we're going to do Small Business Saturday shout out this Saturday to talk all about robotics and what's coming up in tech. So you don't want to miss that. That's going to be an awesome show. So stay tuned on this Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Until then, take care of you. And again, remember, love your body and love yourself. I will see you next time. Bye.